Hello. So, I journaled today. I try to journal every day, but I'm just sharing it now on videos. And so I want to share today's journaling session, and it's to do with grape. And I don't understand why we can't say the word, but I think it gets censored if I say that. And like grape and like trauma, negative thoughts, but it ends well. It ends well, and I'm not gonna make this video too long, hopefully. And like the whole thing, I feel like I don't understand why women were shamed. Like if you go for grape, then like you did. It's so, I feel like it's so embedded in like society that like, oh, if a woman was great, then it's her fault for some reason. Or like, oh, she was wearing whatever clothing, or like she carried herself in whatever way. And I think because of that, like for me, because of that, I have been, it's so weird. It's like everything's in cycles, you know, like you're healing, it's like, oh, it's healed, and it's like you come to a deeper layer and it's like, oh my god. And for me, I always shrink myself in public or like around other people. I'm always trying to make myself smaller, and it's in my posture and everything. And I had healed this. I had healed this from the last lot of trauma, and then I got traumatized again, and I'm healing again. But now I'm sharing it, so it's like good. Or at least it feels better to me than to just go through trauma for nothing. At least I'm sharing the thing, and maybe it will help. So yeah, like you're making yourself small, and like you don't want to be seen, and but this like shows up in so many other ways afterwards as well, because like you miss out on possible opportunities. Although I don't believe like anything that's really meant for us will never like miss us. Like it will circle us, and it will keep. This is another thing, all the things that are meant for you in your life, they're not gonna miss you. And I feel like especially in the workplace, like, or like work environments, you feel like you need to push and you need to prove yourself, and like but like you don't really need to be doing that, because everything, like I said, everything that's meant for you, the things that are really meant for you and that are going to be right for you, they happen so naturally, so effortlessly, and that's why people are like, go with the flow, because it always does, and it comes to you through non-resistance, and it doesn't rush you. Anything that rushes you into making a decision is always going to be bad, almost always going to be bad, because anything rushed is like, it doesn't make sense. And things, it's different, rushed and things happening fast. Something can happen fast, like you can be praying for something for years and then it's just like all showing up. That is not really rushing. Rushing is like, oh, do I do this decision? I don't know. Whenever you don't know, it's a no. Whenever you don't know, it's a no, unfortunately. Or fortunately, like if it isn't a full body yes, it's a no. But I feel like I'm way off subject now. Because like the whole thing with the full body yes, but then sometimes like maybe it can be clouded. But going back to what I was saying, like shrinking yourself and like then missing out on opportunities, or maybe just not, like, I think everything is perfect as it is as it should be, but like you can feel like sometimes when things need to be changed and you're living out of alignment. And I will come back to this because this ties into something else that's in the session, like towards, it's not very long, but like if you fear of being sick with something all the time, I think this goes into hypochondria. Oh my god, I have this so bad, like a heart attack, or it's like cancer, or it's like something with my brain, or like nerves. Oh my god, it's like there's always something. And the reason for this that I have found, because I haven't found any reasons, like why do people struggle with hypochondria? For me, it's been living out of my truth. Whenever I have lived in my truth, I have not had one worry about being sick. Even if I was sick, like I got a cold or like going through something, I didn't have the fear of being sick with something, like with hypochondria. It's always when I've been living out of alignment. And when you're holding emotions like anger, frustration and sadness, like I feel like everyone like kind of knows this, but it's true. You will feel like, oh my god, like I'm scared, I'm sick with this, because it's polluting your system. But then again, you need to work through these emotions, and this is why I'm sharing this video, is like to help us work through. And okay, because that ties into feeling small, and when you feel like you can't show yourself fully because of like the trauma and because of learning like this belief that if you were raped it was something wrong with you, especially like most girls who are raped is always at like 16 years old or like 17 years old. It's like always in the teen years, but especially 16. If you're like older than 16 now and you look at a 16-year-old, you will be like, oh my god, you just like, a 16-year-old doesn't know anything, and you can't blame yourself for being raped. And especially when you look at a 16-year-old girl, it's not your fault. And it you know, it's just like, I feel like some things, they just happen, and I'm not gonna go into like why stuff happens. I actually have no idea. It just, shit happens, and then you have to like deal with it. But that's the thing, we learn afterwards to make ourselves small, and to like no face, you know, like, oh, I feel like I can't walk here by myself even though it's safe, or like just being overly scared, or like, oh, I can't express myself the way I would want because I don't want to be sexualized. Or especially if you've been sexualized, like then it's like, or even sometimes you go over sexual, and it's like you take in even more of the sexual thing, but then you get even more sexual reaction, so it's like feeding it. Or you go like completely away, and it's like you hide yourself, and it's like you need to find the middle. And I feel, okay, it's so bad, and the girls will know that see this, that have been through this, is like you, even like the people that are close to you, you learn like not to trust any man. It's like, it can be like father-in-laws, it can be your own father, it can be uncles. Not that they are all worthy of trust, you never know, and you should always like be careful. But you can see that thing, I find that so sad that we can't fully trust. Yeah. And especially with everything going on today, like the climate of like hate men. I've been hating men for like a few years now, and honestly it's not worth it. It's not worth it to like hold the pain of hatred within you and closing your heart, because hatred will. It's like really boring and it's really sad, and it's just depressing, it's very depressing, because, and that's one of the things I wrote, it's better to love and to lose than to not love at all, because I have been so happy when I've loved and lost than when I'm like not loving. It's like horrible, and I don't like it. And I think that's why it's like the thing with the heart, it's like I'm always like, oh my god, my heart is my heart great, because I'm closing my heart chakra so much. And so the way I have found so far, this isn't really in-depth detail, like all the trauma healing and everything, but trauma, like I said, it always comes in cycles, and you can think that you're healed and it will come back again in another situation where you need to like open up even more. So I thought, oh, like everything's fine, like my womb is like healed, but like I said, that was like from the last trauma. And life is a cycle, I guess, sometimes of, I don't want to say life is a cycle of healing, because like, no, life is like about having fun, but just like, I feel like when we're teenagers and young, we have to learn somehow. And so yeah, that's the thing that I wrote, because the hatred towards men, it won't get you anywhere. Especially, we live in a patriarchy, that's just the way it is, and if you're hating men, it's gonna be so hard for you. And I have this analogy where women were like islands, okay? We have everything we need, like women, we're connected to the earth. I feel like men are connected to the sky, But anyways, women were an island, and think of yourself like you have all the fresh water, you have food, you have gold, you have everything you need. But men are like bridges, and they like can bring you things, or like they can cultivate things, and they can, like, for example, if you have like all these like nice things on your island and you don't know, like men can come and cultivate and like make you flourish, is what I mean. Like men give, like if women are water, men are like the structure that hold the water, so you're not like going everywhere. And I have seen this with women who recover from rape, and then they do meet good men, and they flourish, like they start a business. It's so good. A lot of women, they won't say this, they won't like give credit to their partner, but like some do, but like sometimes like a good man will do so much for a woman. And yeah, so these women, they start like businesses that thrive, and like they're happy, you feel safe. But you need to process this, because if you don't process this, you can be with a good man, but you're still gonna hold these blockages and not let it in. And this is why I'm saying, I had this belief until yesterday, an anger belief, that all men rape and are not to be trusted. And then I asked something on my phone, and I was like, how many men, like something like saying, like talking about this basically. And then it was like, it's a minority of people who rape, and I was like, don't you tell me bullshit. I was so angry. I was like, no, all men, and like and I was like, no, it's actually the minority. And I said it's the minority because most women don't speak up, and it was just fighting me and saying like, no, even if women were to speak up, it's still a minority. And it is a minority, because if you go out in the street, if all men raped, you would go out into the street and you would be raped. That is not happening. It is actually a minority, and you can meet a lot of fucked up men in one place. Like in one place where you might be, there might be a lot of fucked up men, or like in your circle, or like around you. But just because it's there doesn't mean it's on the whole world. And just knowing that, for me, it brings me peace. And another thing that I recommend to do is to have good examples of men that you can watch, and you can be like, oh yeah, look, he is good, or like, oh yeah, their relationship is nice. And I would say like Michaela Testa, amazing, I love her so much, she's so good, and her relationship is so good. But it's crazy, they look like soulmates, and it's amazing. Anyways, and who was the other person? And you can even look at like Nara Smith and her husband. Like these are, for example, and then men, you can find so many examples of good men. And even what you can do is, it's like you can be, because I said like men bridge things, men are like bridges, like making your life better. And you can think, oh yeah, the shower I'm having today is because a man came and installed all my pipes so I can feel good. Or like, oh, the car I'm driving, it was made by a man, and I'm so grateful I can get to the place I want to go. And when you start thinking like this and you give gratitude for the good men, your life gets so much better. And that's why I'm saying, if you're fighting men in a patriarchy, you are losing. Like, you are losing so bad. It's like, it's not possible. You can't be hating men. You can, and your life is gonna be so hard. I know, I've been hating men. And you know what's really funny is that I have seen another content creator, what the fuck, I don't like that word, but another like girl who makes videos, and she was saying like, yeah, if you have a problem with masculinity, you're gonna have a problem with money. And I hadn't had a problem with masculinity until recent, like a few, like a little while ago. And yeah, I started having problems with money. And as soon as you like are open and like this thing with the gratitude, money is so much easier. because men made money, and if you're fighting the source that made money, I don't know, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. You have to, and I think what I want to say with this video is like, even if you've been great, even if I had so many bad experiences with men, and I think that's the reason why it's like I've had more bad experiences than good in like, but like in relationship settings. And I'm not gonna say maybe it was, I was gonna say maybe it was my fault, because what do we put up with? What do you put up with? Like, now would I put up with that? No. But like, if you're young, just give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Let yourself learn from your mistakes, and that's it, you know. And most women, you know, we do have things happen with men, and you're like, what the fuck, why did I allow that situation? But as you're just learning, you're like a kid, like, we're learning. Okay, and even if you're like older and you're still having bad experiences with men, it's okay. Like, we can change, and you can like choose like now, like, okay, I'm not gonna accept that anymore. But when you decide you're not gonna accept that anymore, then you can actually be like, okay, the men that I let in my circle are gonna be good men, and yeah, you're gonna be good men, and you're gonna have those examples. Yeah. No, I got a bit lost what I was saying. Yeah, the point of this video is you need to make peace with men. If you want to have a nice life, if you want to be happy, you need to make peace with men. If you want to be able to be authentic, you need to have peace with men and with your own masculinity, because when you're not at peace with men out in the world, it'll be hard to connect to your masculinity within you. And then, like I said, you're gonna be blocking yourself from so much. And it's the masculine and feminine. If I wasn't connected to my masculine, I wouldn't be able to sit here now and make this video, and I wouldn't be able to say no to bad men and live according to my values. And it's just little things like that. You need to make peace. And for the money as well, I'm not saying like, oh, okay, even if you don't have a problem with men, you're gonna have loads of money, but it does really help. And even like, for example, Shira, she doesn't say to hate men, and the idea of hating men, I think it's just so detrimental to women. It's like the whole propaganda of whoever trying to push women to be men and men to be women is putting us against each other. You know, it's like divide and conquer. And don't go for that. Don't go for that. Do not go for that. And if you don't hate male animals, like, that's why I told myself, is that I don't hate male animals. You know, my cat, oh, my lovely cat, I have a picture but I don't want to show you because it's my baby. My cat, he was a boy and he was like my best friend. And did I hate him because he was a boy and a man? No. And you don't have to love the men that have done like bad things to you. You don't have to love them. But it's like, as women, I'm sure you've had women or girls do bitchy things to you too. It's like, it's people are all different. Don't say that, oh, men are bad, because they're not. And when you say that, you cut yourself so much from so many things. So yeah, that was the video for today. Have the good examples of men. Be grateful for the little things that men do. You don't have to say it always, like, to a man, like, oh, thank you. You can, but like, even in your head, like, oh, I'm so grateful I get to drive in a car like a man has made, or like, oh, men make my life so much easier. Just start saying little things like that and let go of the past. You don't need to go analyzing 1,000 times into your trauma. Just let it go and focus on what's now. Okay, bye.